So I've got a laptop in front of me, and this laptop actually, it really means a lot to me, because this is the first ever computer that I used. This was my old family Toshiba from like back just after I was born, I think. It's running an Intel Centrino, that's its model number, but it's got some data on it I've got to recover. But because of its age, for some reason, it's just not letting me do it from the OS itself. I put in my drive, I start trying to put across data, and then it just fails. So I'm going to try and pull out the drive and do it that way. But first, I want to show you what this Toshiba is running and what it can do. As you can see here, we've got an Intel Core 2 Duo, well, 2 cores, 2 threads as well, I believe, and 2 gigahertz. That's a lot of 2s. 2 gigs of memory installed. This is just the 2 PC. Running Windows Vista. This thing is old. I've learned that this is a Toshiba Satellite M300. I don't want to reveal what data is on it, because I can't, but I want to show you a few things that it can do. We had this one program called Web Camera. I don't know if it came with Vista or Toshiba's or something, but I remember this program so well. I used to love messing with it when I was younger. I don't like the feel of the keycaps, but surprisingly, it's very quiet and doesn't feel too bad to press. It's got a switch to turn Wi-Fi on and off, a physical volume knob, what is I think an SD card reader, a disc writer, USB, headphone jack, Ethernet, lock thing, VGA external monitor, a HDMI that's covered for some reason, 2 USBs here, I hate that this one's slightly off center, a connector I don't recognize off the top of my head, but I assume it's an older one, and wait, no, that's the microphone and headphones. That is actually a connector I don't recognize. Now I'm looking at it a second time, it's way too big for a headphone jack. Weird. You can see my camera, but this for one is the webcam on it. Look how slow it is. And it's also behind. But this is a software called Web Camera. And it's just completely stopped. I coughed and then it stopped. But what you can also do is apply effects to it. And it's crashing. Yeah, like you got the ladybug here. For some reason I remember being able to click on it and it being able to do things like actually being able to click on it and like put extra ladybugs in. But you can also like put frames around it. Isn't this just amazing? Wowza. You can do cool effects and stuff. I remember spending so much time messing with this when I was younger. Oh my god. This is one of the first softwares I ever remember using. I haven't used many Vista machines since, so I actually don't know if it's a Vista thing, a Toshiba thing, or if it was installed later, because I was very young when I had this laptop. Me thinks I might have left something in the DVD drive, just maybe. So what have we got in this DVD drive? Oh, that's disappointing. It's the Clouding the Chance of Meatballs game by Ubisoft. The problem is, I remember this, I put this in afterwards. This was nowhere near back from when I was originally using this when I was younger. Damn, I bought this not long ago actually. It's only got 52 gigabytes on this thing though. Let's see if it can run the Clouding Chance of Meatballs game. And that doesn't work. Oh, here's something that's interesting on there. I've got a bunch of DS ROMs on here apparently. This we got when I first got my DS. We got from a friend, not like online, a bunch of, well, DS ROMs on one cartridge. We thought it was very cool. And then I remember mine corrupted, and so we had to back it up. And so we ended up with a bunch of DS ROMs. I don't actually think there's any games on here though, apart from obviously DS ROMs. So I think that's most of the features the computer explored. Let's open it up and see what's actually inside. And then with that, we've got the laptop just here. Here it all is. But we're interested in what's physically inside. So let's crack it open. The first one's the obvious one, which is the battery, which literally just slides out. That's something I miss on older laptops. I know some newer laptops still do this, but a lot of older laptops, you could slip out the battery. But just in general, older laptops are much more easy to get at and fix and upgrade. It's already got panels designed to be open on this laptop. And then it literally just pops off. Oh, and that's cool. The screws are threaded into the panel. So no matter how hard you shake it, the screws stay there for when you want to put it back in. That is really cool. It's able to have 2 DIMMs of, I think, DDR2 memory. It's also got this panel, it's also got this little bit right here, which I'm pretty sure is the Wi-Fi card. So what that does mean is if I get a second stick of this, I could get this Windows 10 operational, I think. Would you want to see a second video on that? Trying to get this old Toshiba Windows Vista laptop to Windows 10 standards? Okay, I've just taken off the next panel, and here we have our hard drive, which isn't actually screwed in for some reason, and quite literally just has tabs to lift off. It's a SATA hard drive, which means I can put an SSD in there. I could really get this thing up to Windows 10 operation. I don't have the stuff for it with me today, but if you want to see a second video, let me know. Just taking another look at the hard drive, it does say a 250 gigabyte, which is interesting because from memory it only has 50 gigs on the actual laptop itself. It's SATA 5400 RPM, which is pretty standard for these 2.5-inch drives. Because of the housing it's using, it's essentially just using a SATA extender attached to the laptop itself. The actual SATA connector on the hard drive isn't the one being connected. Made by Hitachi. It's got a do not cover hole. Interesting that it said 50 though and not 250. I'll plug it into another desktop and I'll let you know if it's just been like portioned off. So I'm just going through the files and it's got all the wallpapers as JPEGs. Wallpaper 1, satellite. Wallpaper 2, satellite. Wallpaper 3, satellite. Why does that kind of look like Goat Simulator? This is currently on my main machine with the hard drive plugged in. It's also got 2 logos. Turns out I was being stupid, it's not 50 gigs. It's 50 gigs free. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's not a fast SATA, but it's SATA. Hello, kitty cat. I'm pretty sure this is our Wi-Fi card here, especially because the switch for it is, the physical switch is right here. It's not using the standard interface that today's Wi-Fi cards use, which is interesting. What I think is SODIMM DDR2 RAM. Our power connector is here. Sadly, I'm not gonna be able to go any further into this computer, because while it is my first computer, and I can't bring myself to nearly accidentally break it, especially if I want to bring it up to Windows 10 standards. I'll do some Googling online. I'll do some Googling online whether it's like some other older laptops, it's got a CPU socket in it. And if it does, I might take it apart to upgrade the CPU. But apart from that, that is probably the furthest I'm going to delve today. But that's some information about this machine. 2 gigs of RAM, a SATA interface, a cat that's trying to get my screwdriver, Windows Vista. Doesn't work without a charger, sadly. But I could probably get a new battery, because this is the battery here. Anyway, thank you for watching this deep dive on my first ever PC. Or computer, sorry. This is a laptop. This was the first one I ever used. I don't remember how old I was when I got it, but it was more the family one. It is very nostalgic to me. And all this computer still means a lot to me, which is why I'm not opening it. But if you want to see me upgrade it and restore it, which I am comfortable doing, let me know in the comments below, because I think that could be a really fun project. And also let me know in the comments what your first machine was, because I'm really curious now. What have you got as your first machine? You know, a cat that's walking around my workspace. That is the Toshiba M300 satellite. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, as I'm a small tech channel and it would help out a ton. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.